All right now we're doing the Ransom lab, and the first thing we did is we got our student got the papers ready, chromatography papers ready, according to the lab directions, and he is putting a line on the bottom about 2 centimeters,
maybe a little bit more.
Maybe a little bit more from the end. I'm just gonna help him hold that a little bit. Okay, and then from that he's going to take, he has 4 pens sitting here that he's going to be testing, and his apparatus then shows that he has containers full of isopropyl alcohol. The isopropyl alcohol acts as a solvent. So what we're going to do now is he's going to put a dot on each one of those pieces of paper.
Wait, above the line, right?
Right on the line.
Okay.
He's going to do that for each one of those pieces of paper, with a different pen on each one.
Okay, hang on. Alright.
Notice he's making a nice big dot. It's heavy and dark.
I also draw heavy, so that's why as well.
Okay, all right. Now the lab person is taking this,
okay, let's see.
and he is adding.
This is gonna be this one.
He's noticing how far you should put it into the solvent. So he's going to bend the filter paper over.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
There you go. And he's going to put in the solvent so that the solvent will carry the molecules of ink up the chromatography paper. And he has 2 more to do. And then we're going to
I'm putting the pens near them so I know which one is
all right.
which.
All right, there we go. Okay, and we'll see how long it's going to elapse before we have something happening.
Directions have pictures.
Okay, this is what's happening after about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
About 5 minutes. We can see that the solvent is moving up. I don't know if you can see the discoloration there, but there's a little discoloration on the paper. You can see where the solvent's coming up. And it's taking that ink mark and moving it up onto the chromatography paper. On this one, I think is a really good indication. You can see the line, where am I at? Right here, there's a line. This is where it started down here. And then we have the blue one.
The last one is the most interesting because it's rising the most.
It is rising very quickly, you're right. So in all of these, because they are pens, the students used alcohol because none of them are water soluble. And so they're moving. Now there are some students who did not use just ink, they used some other things that are water soluble. And let's take a look at those. This group of students, you can tell me with right here, used regular water-soluble markers, and this is a water solvent. Again, they used a blue one and a red one. Now, were those dots like that when you started?
No.
Where were they?
Down at the bottom.
Right on the bottom, by the line. And now they're seeming to move away from the line, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
So, what is it? That's the ink in there, right?
Yep.
So what's carrying the ink? The water. Yep. It's carrying it up this is the quicker picker upper stuff, huh? So it's moving up there. Looking kind of pretty. Now over here, this is an ink pen that they were using. And we can see that blue column. We see the dark blue still on the bottom. But if you look really, really close, you can almost see a different color on the top there, can't you?
Yep.
All right. This one is just starting. Again, these started all at the same time. But every single piece of paper is different. Every single ink is different. This is another group of students that are using markers, and they can use, did you use alcohol or water?
We use water.
Okay, because these are all water soluble, and you can see in this one that the green marker, right, green,
Yeah.
Yep.
is separating out. You can see a little bluish tinge on the top and a little more yellow on the bottom. And over here is the purple one, and you can see that the colors are separating out there also. You have an orange one over here. Do you see separation of colors? Can you turn that for me, please? Is there any separation of colors yet?
It looks more towards yellow at the bottom and kind of reddish at the top.
I would agree with you on that one. So it's separating out. Okay, here we are again, a different group. They used, I believe, 3 black pens and 1 blue pen. And as it's moving up, They're separating out. Notice this has much darker and a little more purple in it than this one. Here's a blue pen over here that seems separating, but even though it looks to me like it has a tinge of purple on the top. And over here, the last one, we have a real big separation there between it where the dot started and where the solvent is moving. All right, we've waited about 20 minutes here, and so what we're going to do is we're going to take these out and put them on tape them to a piece of paper, and we're going to let them dry so we can collect more data on them when they're dry.
And if you want to see Marco or this in marker, go to the back table with Alyssa and Jenna.
Okay.
Their pink one is
Pretty cool?
yeah, it's getting pretty
Okay, so they're putting theirs on here right now. I'm just going to take a close-up of this a little bit as we're moving along. And then I'll be over there to look at other ones. All right. Needs one more. Okay, thank you. Okay. And then we have one more. And so they'll be, and a thing to remember on these is they need to mark with a pencil,
The pencil.
with a pencil.
Okay, dang it, I may not have my pencil.
Okay, we're gonna use one of these pens right here, and we're gonna mark on here where the top of the solvent went. If you can see, there's a definite discoloration right here.
Yes, there is.
That's where the solvent is, so we're gonna mark that really, really simply here on the piece of paper so we can see it. And that's important, because that's how far the solvent went up, and so we can look at where the dyes are in relationship to that. Okay, we're back at the ones that have markers. And we can see that there's a discoloration of blue. Remember that the dot was on the pencil line, and now it's moved directly up. The pink one is moved up, and we have, is this ink or marker?
That is ink.
Okay, ink, and it is separating out there also. Okay, looks good. All right, we're back again at a group that used markers and water. There's the purple, and again, you can see there's a long space between where the solvent line is and where the color's at. We have green, orange, pink, and purple. So they're going to have some measurements to make after their solvent dries.